Hi, I am Raquel of the YogaSlackers, and today I want to speak to you about keeping your shoulders healthy and your upper back, particularly on handstands. Often we get a little bit of pain on this area here between our shoulder blades. So today we're going to address how to avoid that. Part of the reason that we might get pain between our shoulder blades might be because we're doing our handstands with our shoulders or with our arms internally rotated, which creates compression between your shoulder blades. Versus when we are doing the handstands, we're looking for an external rotation of the upper back. If you've been following us for a while or practicing with us, you already know that we are constantly encouraging our students and ourselves to externally rotate the upper arm. So today we're going to see one drill to help us with that action. You're going to need a foam roller. To do this drill, we're going to stand close to the wall and we're going to place the block, or we're going to place the roller above us with our hands at 90 degrees. And here I'm already working on the external rotation of the arm by bringing the elbows in close to each other. I'm also going to be encouraging my ribs to stay in that hollow body position that we want in our handstands. Now, the drill is going to start by opening the hands. So we're encouraging the external rotation. The fingers are pointing up, the hands are facing each other, ribs in, quadriceps engaged, glutes squeeze. Now, from there, we're gonna extend the arms while encouraging the ribs to go down. And then we're going to relax back down. Moving in, extending, encouraging the ribs to stay in, and then down. And here we're going to start noticing the tension that we carry on our body. Right? So if it's very hard for me to get my arms straight and my ribs down and that external rotation while doing this drill, it's also going to be hard for me to do this drill, to do a straight handstand while keeping my shoulders externally rotated. Okay, so let's see how this works. Let's have a volunteer from the crowd. Okay, Sam is going to be helping us today. He is going to be facing the wall. And now we're going to be able to see the action here on his back. Lift your arms up, right? So if we do an internal rotation of the arm, you can see that we create a deep valley here between his shoulder blades. Versus if we do an external rotation, the shoulder blade area, the space between the shoulder blades becomes longer. And what we're trying to do with this drill is to encourage the shoulder blade to lift and wrap around our body. Some shoulders are a little bit tighter than mine, so let's see where he gets here. Relax your arms down. Place this in front of your eyes on the wall. This one is a little bit heavy. If you have a foam roller that it's lighter, it's a great place to start. Palms are going to face each other, and you might need to step back just a little bit because we want to make sure that the arms can rotate. Now from there, while keeping the ribs in, feet together, squeeze your butt, ribs in. We already can see that he's maintaining that protraction on the shoulders. The back is nice and rounded. We want to maintain that as he extends the arms up overhead and relax back down. Do you think you can get a little closer to the wall? Good. Keeping the ribs in, squeeze the glutes. This is nice and open. Extend, and we're encouraging the shoulder blades to go forwards and up. Really good. And then relax back down. And down. Roll down. And roll down. Good. You holding it with your hand. Is it hard?
Yeah.
Okay, can I try? I start with this. The way I do it to make it a little easier for me to be able to hold it is that I start with it at my eye height with my palms facing down, so it's easy for me to hold it. And then from here, I externally rotate my hands and my arms included. Then from there, I make sure my feet are together, my heels are together. I'm finding my hollow body position, and I'm focused then on extending and bringing the ribs in. And I do have to lean slightly towards the wall to be able to keep the block against the wall. And then from there, relaxing back down, bringing the hands down. If that was really easy, I might walk a little bit closer to the wall. Extending, ribs in, ribs in, ribs in, maintaining that external rotation, and then coming down. And I can feel on my body that my left arm wants to release the external rotation right about here. So I can hold it there and slowly encourage that shoulder blade to wrap around and release. The good thing is that these drills that help us to gain a straighter handstand, it also helps us to get a straighter body position. So one thing to work on after this is on massaging the muscles that we just worked on. So one way to do it is with the double ball from the original Rad Roller. We're going to place this on either side of our spine, right? And from there, we're going to squat down a tiny little bit and be here against the wall. You decide how much pressure you can take by how much you lean towards it. Keeping the ribs in, I am going to squat down and then squat up, feeling how those lower back muscles, mid back muscles are tense. Mine are very tense. Okay, I'm gonna go a little higher. Do the same movement. And now I can start feeling it more in that space that we were working on between our shoulder blades. And then a little bit higher. Relaxing down. And when you start feeling it right between your shoulder blades, we're going to find that rounding on the back. And I want you to start opening the arms and extending. Opening and extending. And from there, you can also work on rotating down and in, or even bringing the arms towards your chest and out. And really here, you can work with your body, moving your arms in different directions to release that space. Or you can just roll up and down if that feels good for you. Do not try to do the entire back on one swipe up and down. Work on small segments, even if that means that we need to reposition the Rad Roller as we move. Another option, if you want to be a little bit more precise with this, is to use the single ball, especially these massage recovery balls. You're going to place it just in the space between your shoulder blade and your spine. Okay, start a little low, and then from there, roll up and work on releasing any tension that is in that location. Here again, you can start working and moving the arm in different directions. Maybe holding it and then rolling around, or holding the ball in place and moving the arm. You can work that same action, the extending in front of your body and releasing, maintaining that external rotation. Making sure that you do both sides. These two movements are also possible to do laying down, but I find that standing is a little bit easier for me to move freely, and I get less tired than laying down. The final movement is going to be just working on our body position. Leaning against the wall, we're going to think that we're on a straight handstand. The ribs are in, the glutes are contracted, the legs are very active. And the movement is going to be very simple. We're going to tug our shin to our chest, creating a nice double, triple shin action. And then from here, while keeping that action, we're going to attempt to touch our head on the wall. And then we're going to release. We're going to move back and release forwards. Move back and release the head. You'll notice that depending on where you are with your body, your ribs may want to try to help with the movement. But here, particularly on our lower back, we want to stay glued to the wall as we move the head forwards and back. If holding the head on the wall is really easy for you, then we can increase the challenge a little bit by doing it laying down. For this, we're going to need the roller. Again, we're going to place it on the ground. And what we're going to do is that we are going to lay right on the roller. Right? The head is not going to be touching. Now the same rules apply. I'm going to keep the ribs in. I'm going to make that double shin action. And then from there, slowly and gently, I am going to encourage my head to move backwards and then come back forwards. The challenge is going to be to keep the ribs down while doing that. So I like to press down on my ribs as a reminder to keep them in place as I move my head back. Hold for a second and then release back up. It's really important here that, again, we don't simply do it by releasing the head down. We want to keep that double shin action happening. Yet, after doing this, you are probably a little bit more sore than you started. So it's a good idea to then use your roller to release your back. You can relax your head on your hands and roll. I really like these rollers because they have a space, so it's not pressing on my spine. And it actually translates to giving me a little bit deeper of a massage. Good. Finally, remember your forearms. We've been doing a lot of arm balancing, a lot of weight bearing on our hands. And also if you are starting to balance with your hands, your forearms get very, very, very tight too. And that's why we recommend using the arm roller, the Armaid. In this case, we place it in one location, right? And from there, we move our hands side to side, up and down, and squeeze the hand, open and close. Also, if moving in one place forwards and back is really easy, close your fist and then do the same movement. You might find that it's a little bit more spicy. Move slowly from one place to another and repeat. You don't need to put a lot with all of these tools. It's not about putting a lot of pressure on your muscles. It's about putting just enough pressure so you can feel it and the muscle can start to release. If we put too much pressure, the muscle will contract and it will protect itself. So we want to get to that sweet spot where we can find a nice release. So this is something really good to do while driving long distances, in your van, or at home while watching TV or listening to music. Just attempt to spend anything from 5 minutes to 10 minutes in your arms each day. There's one last one. That is for these muscles here, the trapezius muscle. Is it trapezius? We're going to do this one. We might need to change our location, but it's going to be to press down on them while moving our arms too. So it's not so much pressing on top of here. We're going to move it relatively back. Let's see if I can use this wall. No. This one is not going to work, so I'll show it on a different video.